Let's do Buffalo all over again. What is up, Fin fans? Week 11, Miami Dolphins hosting the Buffalo Bills. Like usual, we're going to go over injury report. I got some guys coming back from injury, some guys that we should talk about. Then we're going to get into the 5 things the Miami Dolphins should do to beat the Buffalo Bills, and then comment of the day. And then one of you guys, I'm going to shout you out on Patreon. So let's jump into this. So like usual, let's get into the injury report first. Pop it up over my face. The only name that really hasn't practiced is Ken Webster. Other than that, everyone really practiced. You see Ryan Fitzpatrick with the shoulder, his right shoulder, it's kind of like wearing him down a little bit. Balaj had a neck/illness, but other than that, it was mostly everyone practiced. And then on the Buffalo Bills, I'm not even going to show it because it's 3 guys. Frank Gore didn't practice. He has a knee injury, and then Knox didn't practice either. Knox kind of killed us last time we played them. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about Rashad Jones. Rashad Jones has practiced fully this week. Rashad Jones, hopefully he's going to be coming back for this game. Everyone was asking, what the heck is going on with Rashad Jones? Why isn't Rashad Jones practicing, playing? What's going on? I found out he had a cracked rib. You don't fart around with a cracked rib. Any of you guys out there that used to play any type of contact sport, football, hockey, whatever, you got a cracked rib. You can't even laugh, breathe, cough, eat, swallow. It hurts. Everything hurts. So that's what I'm hearing. Then 2 guys coming off of IR. They still have 22 days to designate it, but these 2 guys have practiced most of the week. Again, this is coming out, me recording this Thursday night. Cleveland Browns are beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 21-7. Just going to throw that little tidbit out there. But as of me recording this, Van Ginkel and Davenport are the ones who have been practicing. So it would be really nice to see Van Ginkel back out there doing his thing like a chicken wang. And Davenport, we need help at the tackle position because Webb is struggling mightily. So is Jesse Davis. Who we can. Both tackles are struggling hugely. So those are some really good things to talk about. Let's jump into the 5 things the Miami Dolphins have to do to beat the Buffalo Bills. Now, we already played the Buffalo Bills. We played them about 3 weeks ago, give or take. Week 7. We're on week 11. About 3 weeks ago. And the 5 things the Miami Dolphins have to do, again, no specific order. Most important, least important, least important, most important. It's just doing my research, watching last week 7's tape, doing my due diligence, my Dougley due diligence. No, sorry. And this is the 5 things. The number 1 thing the Miami Dolphins have to do, and they did it. They did a pretty good job of this last time they played the Buffalo Bills. Contain Josh Allen. Now, Josh Allen, last time we played them, he ran 4 times, 32 yards, 8 yards a carry. But they did a good job, especially in the first half, of containing Josh Allen. They did a good job of doing that. Got to keep that because that man can beat you with his legs. That man can be dangerous with his legs. So contain Josh Allen, keep him in the pocket, have him beat you with his arm. Cleveland Browns beat him, and I feel like they did the same thing that I'm talking about in beating him because you contain him, you keep him in the pocket. It will really force him to throw. And as dynamic as Josh Allen is, he still has accuracy issues. So that is number 1 for me. Again, not that it's important. It's just the first thing that I was like, oh, Josh Allen's ridiculous. We got to contain him. Number 2, you got to pressure Josh Allen. This game stems around Josh Allen, if you haven't noticed, because he's super dynamic, and every time we play him, he's the one who tends to make our lives a living hell. So you got to pressure Josh Allen. We got Baker, Beagle, who's Vince. He's just one of the best pass rushers we have. Even Jenkins, the defensive tackle, gets a lot of pressure, which opens up pressure for Wilkins, Gotchow. Got to get pressure on him. I don't care if you're blitzing Baker up the middle, just smacking him in the face. They've done that a few times. Get pressure on Josh Allen because if you're going to contain him, if you're going to have your defensive ends going to contain to keep him in the pocket, you blitz up the middle, he's got to get the ball out quick or he's going to take a sack. So you got to pressure him. Contain him, then pressure him. I feel like that should have been 1, 2, but I made it 2 separate ones. Sue me. Don't sue me. I have no money. The number 3 thing the Miami Dolphins have to do to beat the Buffalo Bills, you got to stop the run. Now, yes, this is the deal with every team. Every team we have to stop the run. We're getting a little bit better at that, but we have to stop the run. last time we played, Frank Gore had 55 yards carry. Singletary had 26 yards. Held them under 100 yards. First half, again, we did great. Holding them to those rushing yards is great. Do it again. Do it again. I'm going to talk about the last game a little bit more, but do it again. Really pressure him and really stop the run, and then really force Josh Allen to do his thing. Then you contain him. Then you get pressure him, and then you win. You see what I'm saying? Do you see how I stack these things up in my mind? And this is why I write them down. Again, no specific importance. It's just how my dyslexic brain works. So number 4 things the Miami Dolphins have to do to beat the Buffalo Bills. And if the Miami Dolphins listen to me, Miami, listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Not all the time, but most of the time. Number 4, no mistakes. The reason the Dolphins lost to the Bills last time was we marched down the field. The center got completely manhandled by Phillips. I don't care anymore. If you're not on my team anymore, I don't care. Well, he got manhandled and tackled Walt Aikens behind the line of scrimmage, which then forced Fitzpatrick to throw a pass, which then was intercepted. Then we had the fumble, and it just was all downhill. No mistakes. We went into the half 14-9 up. Then the mistakes happened, and we completely crumbled. We couldn't bounce back from it because all of a sudden your offense goes from one type of offense to another type of offense. Then the defense picks up on that, and then all of a sudden we're one-dimensional and we lose. That's what happens. A lot of you guys were asking me this question, and I'm just going to piggyback off of the no mistakes. A lot of you guys asked me, especially for certain games, Chargers game, the Cowboys games, this game, the Bills game, because the Redskins game we actually did better in the second half. Those 3 games, you guys are like, why do we do, even the Patriots game, why did we do so well in the first half and sucked in the second half? It's because once we make these mistakes, the defense wasn't good enough to hold them, and then all of a sudden, we made these mistakes, and then their defense would score, or then their offense would score. We'd get down by more and more points, and then all of a sudden, the offensive scheme and then running the ball and being a balanced offense goes out the window. You become one-dimensional. The defense knows you're one-dimensional. And then you're swimming in the great Lake Titicaca. So, no mistakes, please. And that goes to turnovers and also goes to penalties. But they're doing good with that. Number 1 in the league with least penalized team. Then the last thing the Miami Dolphins have to do to beat the Buffalo Bills, we got to run the ball. Mark Walton is suspended. I think he has 3 more games and then he can come back. Really sucks that they decided to do it so late when they should have just suspended him for the first 4 games of the season, but they decided to do it now. Laird, Gaskins, Balaj is Balaj. Balaj can't, his knock, and I said this last season, his knock coming out of the draft was he had a hard time hitting the holes. He has a hard time making guys miss, and we're seeing it now. We're seeing his struggling on you're supposed to hit the A gap, he'll hit the B gap, or vice versa, and not hitting the holes decisively. That was his knock. Go back and read his scouting report. That was his knock coming out of college. Had a hard time hitting the holes. I was saying that when we were comparing him to Kenyon Drake, because there was that whole debate this offseason. Again, so Balaj needs to step up, but then also Laird and Gaskins. Let's get them in there. Also, if we're going to run the ball, and if you're going to be this hard-nosed style offense, use Cox more. They barely use Cox. Also, use him. Play action. You can throw it to him. This man's a beast. Run with him. Run the ball. Be successful at it. We haven't been successful at running the ball probably since we played the Buffalo Bills last time. So maybe we'll be successful this time. But again, we don't got Mark Walton. Give it to Laird. I want to see Laird do his thing. He did it in preseason. So those are the 5 things the Miami Dolphins have to do to beat the Buffalo Bills. What do you guys think? Comment below. Let me know. You guys want to know, who do I think who's going to win, the Miami Dolphins or the Buffalo Bills? Now, like I said, the Buffalo Bills, they were losing 14-9 at halftime, and then we made the stupid mistakes. We couldn't bounce back because then all of a sudden our offense became one-dimensional because the defense couldn't stop them, and it just was a whole avalanche. Then we had the onside kick. Our whole defense fell to the ground. He ran in for a touchdown. It was a complete and utter debacle. I honestly think that if the Dolphins for most of the games had just a little bit more talent, this team would be a winning team right now. I think we'd be 7-2, 6-4 right now if we had the Jets roster. we'd be 6-4, 7-2, because Brian Flores shows that he can win with nothing. So just give him something. I'm literally over here when you guys want me here. I think the Dolphins will win. 20-17, 3-point win. Sanders, AFC Special Teamer of the Week, 3 field goals, 2 for 48 yards. He's going to do it again. He's going to win by his nice beauty, golden foot. That's what I'm picking. Miami Dolphins will win. I'm also live streaming this. I'll be live streaming Sunday. Probably go on about 12:45, about 15 minutes early. Going to live stream the game, so be sure to come hang out. Hopefully they win while I'm live streaming. If not, it'll still be fun. Come hang out. I'm going to live stream. So be sure to comment below. Let me know who you think. Buffalo Bills fan, do you guys are watching this? What's the 5 things the Bills need to do to beat the Dolphins? And if you say nothing, well, then you're going to end up like the Colts, who lost to the Miami Dolphins. So be sure to comment below, everyone, and let me get you guys comment of the day. Now, I was on Twitter today, and I haven't taken a comment from Twitter since, I think, Sunday. I normally take your guys' comments Sundays when I'm tweeting out the game. And I was like, screw it. Let me take one of you guys' comments from Twitter. So I said, hey, guys, let's get one of you guys in here. And I had a lot of you guys talking about the fact that Colin Kaepernick is having an open thing Saturday and blah, blah, blah. And Dolphins are going to be there. Chris Gary's not going to be there. Brian Flores is going to be there. I don't even think any of the offensive, defensive, wide receivers, quarterback coach. No one. It's just like, hey, scout guy number 9,000. Go look at what Colin Kaepernick's got to do. And you guys want to know my thoughts on it. Should the Dolphins sign Kaepernick? All this stuff. Now, I make a point on this channel not to talk politically. I make a point on this channel not to talk about anything that has these types of issues, because there's 2 different sides of the whatever you want to call it, the aisle, podium, butthole, whatever you want to call it. And you piss off one side, the other side's going to get really mad. Or no, you say one thing, the other side's going to get really mad. You say the other, you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to take that whole aspect of Colin Kaepernick, put it in here, close it up, tape it up, and put it away. Football player Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, the guy who can play quarterback, the guy who is better than most of the backup quarterbacks in the league right now. Colin Kaepernick. Should the Miami Dolphins sign him? No. And again, I'm not talking about anything else besides what I'm going to say. No, because the Miami Dolphins are going in a certain direction. It wouldn't make sense to bring Colin Kaepernick in because he's not what we're looking for. We also don't know if he'll fit the style of offense we're running. Also, he's getting up there in age. And we already have Fitzpatrick, who is getting up there in age, and I don't know how much more that shoulder's going to last in this season. But no, I wouldn't go for Colin Kaepernick, not because of the things that other people are thinking, just because he just won't fit. The age, like, we're trying to get younger, we're trying to sustain success, we're trying to, see what I'm saying? So I maybe somebody will pick him up, somebody that needs a good, veteran leadership backup or something. But me personally, Miami Dolphins, it's just not a fit. So yeah, thank you for the comment. I think it was like 3 or 4 of you guys on Twitter brought that up real quick. I had a guy, David Cochran, pop it up here. He went from being a $5 Patreon to an $8 Patreon. Now, David, you being an $8 Patreon, you get first stab at a comment of the day being an $8 Patreon. So next time I pop up asking for a comment of the day, or next in this video, comment below, and you're going to get first dabs at a comment of the day. So good on you, and thank you for being a Patreon. If you guys want to be a Patreon, it's below, and I'll pop it up here. Don't feel like you need to. I got 5 of you guys as my Patreons. I got David, who's now an $8 Patreon, like I said, all Harvified, high flutin' tootin', like that name. Sean and Vic, one of my mods. I got you guys as my Patreons. So if you want to, don't feel like you need to. Also, I got merch. I ordered my own merch. I'm getting it probably sometime next week. I'm going to wear it, some of my shirts, so you guys can see I got merch linked below. Got hoodies, t-shirts. 3 of you guys ordered merch, which thank you very much. You don't need to, but if you want to catch some merch, linked it below. Follow me on Twitter. Like I said, I asked you guys for questions on Twitter. I also am very interactive on Twitter. News breaks on Twitter. You guys get my opinion before I make a video, so be sure to go check out my Twitter. Follow that. Check out the Bit Boys. We're literally 1 subscriber away from 500. This is me recording this. Maybe we broke it. Maybe we didn't. I haven't checked. But yeah. be sure to check out the Bit Boys, great gaming site. We're getting ready for Christmas. We're doing Luigi's Mansion right now, so be sure to check that out. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't feel like you need to, but if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. 3 in a row, baby. 3 in a row. Is it possible? It's very possible. Is it likely? We'll see. But give this video a thumbs up because you like the content, you like my video breakdowns, you like the channel, and because you think the Miami Dolphins are going to win. I just bopped my microphone. I got to get used to having this microphone in front of me. Also give this video a thumbs up because you like the better sound quality of this microphone versus the other microphones I used to use. I'm still testing out new things. I built the thing to put over here. I got so much stuff going on. Give a thumbs up for that. Also check out Sportscaster and DolphinsTalk.com, 2 great sites. I'll be simulcastly live streaming on Sportscaster on Sunday as well as here, and DolphinsTalk.com, podcast, beat writers, me, TD, a bunch of other guys. So be sure to check them out. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Road to 10,000. I'm almost at 8,000. Thanks to you guys. You have no idea how much I appreciate you guys hitting that subscribe button. To all the new subscribers, welcome. I will not let you down. Like I say all the time, regardless of the record, I will get content from me, off-season content, constantly, minimum 3 videos a week from me, regardless of what's going on. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I will see you guys Sunday for the game. I will be live streaming it. Come hang out. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.